Okay, next video. We're looking at the control panel here, and we've got one block on top, which is not password protected whatsoever. We're going to fix that. And we're going to do a little bit more, I think. I think it makes sense to do a little bit more. This bottom block is password protected. And at this point, it makes sense to go over and look at the database. I'll try not to get too technical, but you'll see the reason for this in a minute. So this is the database. These are all the tables in the database. We have two tables that might be a little bit redundant. We have users and we have members. Now, it appears that the users table, oh, quick aside, I didn't originally design this system, but I've dealt with it enough so I know what's going on. So it looks like the users table contains basically employees of Newsmark. And the members table contains essentially anyone who can log in there. So members can log in. Users are employees or contractors of Newsmark. I don't see a reason for the distinction into separate tables. What I would propose is in the users table, we add a column. So instead of just having last name, first name, address, we have type of user. And we could start off with admin, which can do anything, and we'll have one user being the admin, that's Gigi, and everyone else regular. And then we'll get rid of this members table. Now, this leads to the next issue. We have the password here. I can read that right off the screen. Good form these days is to have that password encrypted. And believe it or not, there's a way that makes it really, really hard for someone, even if they have access to the database, to steal the password. I won't get into the mathematical details, but that can be done, and it's pretty standard. So I would propose doing that. Oh, and then you move the password into here as another column here. All right, so we get rid of one table and things become simpler, unless there's a profound reason not to do that, and you can tell me. All right, next issue regarding simplification. When we go down here, add, modify, deactivate timesheets. Okay, so in this case, the first one, that's a verb, if you will, and these are nouns on the right. Verb on the left, noun on the right. Verb on the left, noun on the right. Noun on the left, verb on the right. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That should be consistent. Now, reports is something different. Well, not really. I would propose nouns on the left, and the nouns would be client, project, timesheet, and reports. Okay, and then on the right would be the verbs. Enter, update, delete. And furthermore, as you whatever is on the right will be dependent upon what was on the left. Now, it probably sounds confusing so far, but let's go to timesheets, modify timesheet, okay? In here, we see everyone, or we see a lot of people, including people who don't have any timesheets. Let's hope I pick, there we go. So that person, we shouldn't have seen Rick Asa in that dropdown. We should only have seen people who do have timesheets. And that kind of programming changes, relatively easy to make. Let's see. Okay. The administration login. Well, no, let me start with the login for non-administrators, people who are employees or contractors of Newsmark. What is overwhelmingly the first thing, maybe the only thing they deal with? Entering a timesheet or modifying a timesheet. So if the login is from a non-administrator, we might put the timesheet choice right at the top prominently, because that's the most likely thing they're going to do, is do something with a timesheet. For the administrative login, it would be organized a little bit differently. That's also pretty easy programming to do. None of this stuff is really that difficult. So anyway, I would propose this kind of a reorganization, and maybe we'd want to have a phone call, Zoom meeting to go over, in fact, I'm sure we would, to go over this before I get into it, because there's probably things that you can tell me that I don't know about how you want to do things.